Namaste, my fellow strikers. Holy Materia here, back with another Shinobi Striker video. Today we're going to be looking at the mini builds of the copy ninja himself, Kakashi Hatake, and diving deeper into what the Sharingan meant to him. So let's get right into it. I actually did the builds for this video a while back when I first started my channel. I originally started the channel when I found out about the double Sharingan Kakashi DLC because I was so hyped, since Kakashi is one of my all-time favorite characters from anything, not just Naruto and not just anime. You can check out the original video in the iCard. In that one, I just let music play throughout most of the video, but in this one, I decided to talk about the character of Kakashi while you guys check out his many possible builds. Now, Kakashi is too major, too well developed, and too interesting a character for me to do him justice in a single video. So today, we'll focus on his greatest gift and his greatest curse, the Sharingan. Kakashi Hatake was known the world over as the ninja who copied 1,000 jutsu. His Sharingan was revered and feared in every village. Even Itachi Uchiha was impressed by Kakashi's ability with the Sharingan despite him not being an Uchiha. Not only was Kakashi an expertly written character when it came to his backstory, development, and his personality, but his abilities were also well written. For fans of the series, the Sharingan eventually became known as the cheat eye that could do anything the plot required. But the way Kakashi utilizes it is the way it was originally intended to be used. The word Sharingan translates into copy wheel eye, and that's exactly how Kakashi uses it. He uses the Sharingan to analyze the movements and abilities of his opponents in order to gain the upper hand in battle by copying their jutsu. The Sharingan is a powerful ability. It's a Kekkei Genkai that was meant to be used by the Uchiha clan only. And although Kakashi had above average chakra reserves, because he did not have Uchiha blood, using the Sharingan was extremely taxing for him. Kakashi was also unable to deactivate his Sharingan, so he had to keep it covered when he wasn't fighting, and he wound up in the hospital several times after overusing it. For Kakashi, the Sharingan was a trump card that he only used in the most desperate situations, although as the show went on, most enemies we saw became strong enough to warrant Kakashi using the Sharingan right away. When the Sharingan was first introduced, it was a visual jutsu or dojutsu that could alter the perception of the user and their enemies. I still remember when Itachi first used Tsukuyomi on Kakashi. That was the moment when Naruto was solidified as one of my favorite series. But then when Itachi used a Madarazu for the first time, I stared at the television screen like, what? How can a dojutsu produce a physical attack? The Sharingan only got more overpowered from there, unfortunately, and all but lost its original intent, and every character but Kakashi. And even when he learned Kamui, that was still limited by his lack of Uchiha chakra. So let's backtrack a bit. Kakashi's mother died when he was very young, so he was raised by his father, who was a famous ninja known as Konoha's White Fang. One day, his father put the lives of his comrades above the priority of the mission. He was judged harshly by the other Leaf Shinobi and was driven to suicide from the shame. Because of this, Kakashi became very distant from his comrades and rigid about rules and regulations due to the shame he felt for his father. Kakashi was a genius ninja in his own right and rose through the ranks at nearly unparalleled speed. He was placed on a team with Obito and Rin under the tutelage of Minato-sensei, the soon-to-be 4th Hokage. The carefree and big-hearted Obito was a foil to Kakashi's strict and aloof demeanor, a mirror to Naruto and Sasuke, and pretty much every other rivalry in the show. Lee and Neji, Hashirama and Madara, later Guy and Kakashi, and on and on. When Rin was captured on a mission, Kakashi wanted to follow the rules and complete their objective. He said that in the ninja world, those who did not follow the rules are scum, thinking of his father. Obito told him that he believes Kakashi's father was a hero, and that those who don't protect their comrades are even worse than scum. No words would have a bigger impact on Kakashi's life. In that moment, the words were a relief, as they allowed Kakashi to let go of some of the shame he felt for his father, but they'd later become his greatest burden. They decided to rescue Rin at the cost of completing the mission, but while they were making their escape, Obito saved Kakashi from a falling boulder, and half of his body was crushed in the process. This is when Obito gifted Kakashi a Sharingan and made Kakashi swear to protect Rin. This is the start of Kakashi's true suffering. After Obito is presumed dead, Rin is captured again, and while Kakashi was trying to save her, he ends up killing her with his Chidori. He wasn't able to protect either of his comrades. There are two canon episodes when we see Kakashi cry, when he thinks Obito dies and when Rin dies, and each time only his left eye, his Sharingan eye, has tears coming out of it. We could say that it's really Obito crying and that the two are connected. Kakashi later even adopts some of Obito's personality traits, like always being late and his philosophy that those who abandon their comrades are worse than scum. Thematically, Kakashi's Sharingan represents his suffering and his inability to escape his tragic past, where he lost everyone who was important to him. There's a reason his Sharingan is in his left eye. For millennia, the left side of the body has been associated with evil or deviance of some kind. It's the reason Lelouch's Gyas is in his left eye, why Sesshomaru gradually becomes good after Inuyasha chops off his left arm, and the reason Sasuke opts to not have his left arm regrown, now being completely out of the darkness. It was the right side of Obito's body that was crushed, leaving only his left side, which helps explain why he succumbed to the darkness. Besides the fact that every major Uchiha character / Sharingan user went down a dark path at some point. And I would argue that Gai Sensei is the sole reason that Kakashi didn't fall completely to the darkness, but that's for another video. Although Kakashi never becomes an antagonist, he is always in a dark place mentally, as we found out late in the series. Kakashi tells Granny Chiyo that Naruto has a special power, the ability to change people's hearts. He sees this power in Gaara as well when he takes note of how the ninja of the Shinobi Alliance are changing as Gaara gives his speech. Kakashi tries his best to reach his comrade Obito but fails. You would think that if anyone could get through to Obito, it would be Kakashi. You could argue that because Kakashi was so close to the situation, he was the last person Obito would listen to. But I think it's because Kakashi did not believe in himself. So how could he hope to reach someone else? Whatever else we say about Naruto as a character, despite everything he went through, he always believed in himself. By the time of the 4th grade ninja war, Gaara believed in himself as well, but Kakashi still did not. During his conversation with Obito, we find out that Kakashi considers himself to be trash. Because he thought he let Obito die, then not only failed to protect Rin like he promised, but actually ended up killing her. Unable to protect his comrades, he saw himself as scum. Kakashi was always one of my top 3 favorite characters in the series, but after finding out how he really felt about himself all these years, he was elevated even higher for me. It took the depth of his character to new heights and explained so much about him. This is why he can't reach Obito. He doesn't feel he deserves to reach him. He doesn't deserve to be heard by him. This character, who was revered all over the world, thought of himself as scum for all these years. It's only after he reconciles with Obito with the help of Naruto's Talk no Jutsu, and he loses his Sharingan, the link to his past, the representation of his suffering, of his trauma, that he gains his confidence back. He may have lost the source of his greatest power, but he also lost his greatest burden, his greatest curse. After losing his Sharingan, Kakashi is finally freed from the pain of his past. He's a new man, and after denying the title so many times, he finally has enough self-esteem to accept the mantle of Hokage. Kakashi Hatake, the man who reclaimed himself by losing his borrowed power. Thanks for watching, everyone. More videos like this to come, and more on different aspects of Kakashi's character. He's one of the most interesting characters in the series, in my opinion, and by far the most interesting of the 4 main characters. So definitely more on him in the future. Thank you so much for all the support. I know most of you guys are here for the Shinobi Striker content, but I want to start branching more into the video essay type stuff. And since I don't like posting just straight build videos, and I've also made most of the guides that I set out to make when I first started the channel, I figured this would be a good compromise, like doing builds while doing the video essay on top of it. But yeah, let me know what else you guys want to see from the channel in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. Everybody stay safe out there. Peace and love.